So, good morning. It's Monday. Here's another edition of WATCHPRO Originals, and we're delighted today to be joined by Alexandre Meerson, who's the founder of Alexandre Meerson Watches. So he has his name on his own dials. Alexandre, tell me a little bit about the company. Give me the elevator pitch for Alexandre Meerson Watches.
Well, first of all, good morning. Thanks for having me here. There's no such thing as an elevator pitch for Meerson. I think I'm a designer. I'm a watch designer. I've always been in the watch world. Meerson watches are, in essence, designed all by me, and I design them for each owner. So they're also the only bespoke, made-to-order, exclusively bespoke watch brand. We're established in the UK. Our watches are made and manufactured in Switzerland entirely, and we are very much influenced by style and fashion. So that's our world. So it's a designer-led watch brand which specializes in made-to-order bespoke pieces.
Okay, is everything made to order? Is everything bespoke, or because you have retail partners, so presumably you have core collections as well?
Yes, so we do have core collection with several lines. We curate for each store a selection of pieces which are inspired by the store and their clientele. But the core of our business is done through one-to-one consultations and personalized pieces. So and this is why we're driving and we're working very closely with retail. Retailers are where you can buy a Meerson watch. You go and you can have a hands-on experience with a trained salesperson. You can pick a watch which is available, knowing that it's been done in very small production runs. And when you like what you see there, you can purchase it directly, but you can also request either a special order, which is a variation on that piece, or a proper consultation with the brand and with me. And then starts a process which takes some time, during which I design your timepiece.
Okay.
So yes, watches are available in stock, and from time to time we drop some models or pieces that are inspired by now time. And but in essence, most of our sales are bespoke.
Okay. So, but you're personally based in the United Kingdom now, but you're manufacturing in Switzerland. I mean, are we talking about a production every year in the hundreds or in the thousands of watches?
Oh no, we're very, very small,
Right.
and we want to keep it this way. So first of all, as you can hear from my accent, I'm French, and I've been living in the UK for nearly 15 years now. But I will be calling the US home pretty soon, as we spend more and more time there, at least for a couple of years to accompany the growth that we are experiencing there. So I'll be splitting my time between the UK and the US fairly evenly. But yes, manufacturing is exclusively entirely done in Switzerland, and we've done so since the inception of the brand in 2007. The way we work is that we design and engineer all our timepieces in-house, and then manage manufacturing through a supply chain made up of up to 80, 86, 88 individual artisans in Switzerland, depending on the model and the requirements. And we are very careful to control that everything is really coming from where we say it's coming. And in terms of production, we set the volume at the beginning of the year of how many pieces we are going to manufacture, and we stick to it. So and we try to control that. So at the moment we are in, I think, 115 pieces, and 2021 looks like 180. But it is because it's a work of personalization.
Yeah. But I mean, in some ways, it's quite traditional. I know the United States is a key market for you, and you actually managed to get yourself listed, placed in Watches of Switzerland in Manhattan last year. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, it's wonderful. I mean, they have the purpose of the brand, I would say, is to nurture and celebrate the pleasure of the owner. That's why we call we say that we craft for pleasure. And this means trying to talk to this childlike emotion of each owner, knowing that something is being designed for them to celebrate either their passion, cars, arts, music, butterflies recently, or to express their sense of style or to celebrate an event or someone. So to do that, you need a place where you can welcome each owner individually. You can take the time to work with them, and where they feel they're in a trusted environment with safe hands. And retailers like Watches of Switzerland are wonderful. I mean, the Soho store in Manhattan is an invitation to sit down and take a seat. It's not counter based. It's not. Um, you can have a proper conversation and stay 2 hours with a client if you need to, and that's what makes this an experience above anything else. So we opened to Watch of Switzerland in December 2019. It feels like another century. And now we're getting ready to open in Miami at Mayer's Jewelers across their store, based in Coral Gables to start with at Merrick Park, and hopefully expanding from there. But the idea is always to have a very small stock of pieces that allow you to have a contact with the collection and someone who's really competent to explain what the brand stands for and what it means for you to have a Meerson, to describe the experience. And from there, we meet our customers and owners. So yes, this is we have really great retail partners, and we're planning on opening more places within reason, because um, we don't want too many places. We have to be reasonable. But that's where we are.
I think the Watches of Switzerland deal started off with, I think they have an initiative called Designers in Residence, which is kind of a pop-up idea where they might take a brand like yours, an independent, for a month or so, and you as a designer would be in the store and meet customers. But it doesn't seem like the sort of initiative that you could roll out across the United States. There's only one of you to be in residence. I assume this works sometimes
Yes.
without you actually being in residence.
So I believe we not only inaugurated but invented that concept. Um, the um, the specificity of the brand, I believe, is that, as far as I know, it's the only brand that has one designer who designs and personalizes and works on each piece individually. And this means and this there seems to be a match between this experience we offer and the desire of owners to perhaps own less stuff but own more meaningful objects that can become keepsakes, which is what I really try to work on, is to create your keepsake as a piece of yourself. And this resonates with a lot of customers. um, and as you say, our ambition is not to become a volume brand at all. We get some volume through our lines where you have pieces that are recognized and requested, our True Blue Altitude, or our Officier, or other, or D15, which is a big success in the US. But even the D15, I think we limit the production this year to 50 pieces, so which is our sports piece. Um, so we keep the brand exclusive, we keep the brand confidential, but yet not excluding, not far. We are approachable. We You can book an appointment, and I'll come and visit you. And we use a lot technology. I mean, since the beginning, we had, I would say, most of our sales happened on Skype.
Really?
Yeah, because we had clients in Kentucky, Oklahoma, Wyoming, Australia. I couldn't. And we started understanding who our clients were when we really discussed with retailers. And now we have a much clearer view of who our clients are in retail, and that matches our partnership with Mayors and Watches Switzerland.
So you're saying you started selling over Skype before the COVID-19 situation, or is this something that you've adopted since then?
I believe that 80% of our sales since 2014 have been done remotely. Wow. Through technology. Yeah, there is a point of contact which is really important at the beginning for people to get reasons to believe in your brand. You know, wow, a new brand at this value point that we never heard of before. Okay, we understand there's a heritage since the 50s. The brand has its roots in design and watchmaking, but how do you believe in that brand? So you need to see it. So obviously for the first few years, people who came to us because they saw the piece on someone's wrist, or because they saw social media activity and online activity, and then sought a physical meeting. But then the transaction, the work happened online. Now increasingly, people come to us through LinkedIn. I think our number one lead generator is LinkedIn, Instagram, and through owners like a word of, like a good tailor, I would say. You know, this is, oh, I like what you wear, and our clients are our best ambassadors. And we actually put their stories online and share them for everyone to see. And even now we're a bit overwhelmed in terms of numbers. We can't follow it as much as we would. We try to, and we will be updating that. Yes, and the profile of each client is very interesting. We seem to be creating for, I call, extraordinary people who really don't feel the urge to necessarily wear something that everyone recognizes, but who really want quality and individuality. And they appreciate the fact that it's original, that it's my design, and they like the story, and they like the process we take them through. Going back to sales, we've been using augmented reality since 2018 in our sales process, with our owners having an app to visualize their watch in front of them as it was being made and personalized. So we've done that. It was picked up, actually, funnily enough, by internet or technology magazines, okay. More than in the watch world. But yes, distance is not a challenge, but you need to create these reasons to believe. This is why retailers are so important. Retailers are the lifeline of our industry. They are the fundamental front line of the industry, and dismissing them is a grave mistake. A retailer who understands his business, who has passion and trains his personnel, is the one that clients will trust and that clients will believe to give advice. And when a sales representative from Watches Switzerland or Mayors says to one of their regular clients that they've been nurturing for 20 years, when they tell them, look, you should take a look at Meerson, it's worth so much more than any advert you could put anywhere in the world. And this is why we are driving increasingly now traffic. Even when people inquire directly, we drive them to the stores when there is one near them. I think it's fundamental.
Would you say that you began as a direct-to-consumer business and you're becoming a wholesale business? I know wholesale sounds like it's on a much larger scale.
No, of course. No, you're right. I mean, we began we're pure digital native brand, because when you start, and we had no marketing budget, as you know, we focused on product and delivering. I mean, we did write to retailers, and none of them were responding, because the response we got was, we sell what people ask for. And this is sad to a certain extent, but understandable, and I respect that. It's not the job of a retailer to create or build a brand. I think that a good retailer, however, can detect and understand what brands can mean for the future, and can introduce them to their customers. This sadly has been lost by a few, but there are still a lot of retailers who have this passion and sense of duty to introduce new brands, but they need to be reassured themselves that the brand is solid. So I appreciated that. That's why we went on direct. And I would say 5 years on, having reached break even sooner than that, being still there, releasing a new collection and a new line every year, I think has reassured retailers that we were here to stay, that we are driven by passion, hard work, and I think kindness, which people can confuse with candor, but it's a sense of passion and of a life project. They now realize that we are here, and we are our owners actually come in and mention us to them. So this is now time for us to engage with a select number of retailers that can offer this experience we are after. As I said, the ability to sit down and dialogue, the ability to contact directly the client without being afraid that we will steal the client from them, which is absolutely not our ethos. And geographically, it is going to be a lot in the US at the moment, but we also have some requests from Singapore, Japan. But I would really like to open in a location in the UK, because it's our home. And until now, we haven't had any retail presence in the UK, and I hope that this will change soon. We
Well,
are in discussions, but I hope it happens.
Well, that's good. I mean, I have seen, that I obviously report on both sides of the Atlantic, and there definitely seems to be more openness and acceptance for artisan independent watchmakers in the United States than there is in the UK, which is so dominated by the blockbuster brands. But I guess getting in with Watches of Switzerland Group will give you opportunities in the UK as well as America, hopefully.
Yes, hopefully, and they're great. They are great partners, and they're very, very professional. I mean, it's no surprise if you look at the history of fashion wear, and I come from that world, as you know. If you look at the world of luxury brand, the history of luxury brands, most of them, if not all of them, were made initially by American clients, because they have this approach to accept to learn something new and discover something new. Give it a chance, and at least consider something new, and not dismiss it because it's new. And we're a bit conservative this side of the ocean, but you need to accept how things are, and over time we have now received some expressions of interest, and it's wonderful. There's no reason why an English or French or Italian client would not enjoy wearing a Meerson watch.
No, absolutely. And finally, tell me how this year has not been how anybody expected it to be.
Oh no.
But for the first few months of the year, things were looking pretty strong economically in the UK and the United States. We now have minimum 3 months of basically every retailer of significance in the world being shut. But we're starting to see things open up again. Do you think, given your business model and your size, you can take this sort of experience in your stride and end the year more or less where you thought you might have done when it began?
So yes, you're right. The beginning of the year was amazing. We were about to open in 3 stores in the first half of the year in the US, which was significant. So we ended up in the situation launching our production as planned and funding it, and then silently, slowly hearing that each workshop was closing one after the other, except ours, for a while, and then seeing the stores shut on the other hand. Well, that was, of course, a frustration. However, we are very lean and frugal, so not a huge challenge. We have no plan to lay off anyone around the world. Our teams in the US, UK, or elsewhere are safe. Touch wood. We're a people business. We continue delivering on our projects of creation. I still have I don't want to say a waiting list, but there is a number of projects that we have to deliver in terms of personalization, which are in the phase of design, which we continue now as business as usual. But, we've always worked like this remotely anyway. We have one office in the UK, one office in the US. but 90% of our interactions are on daily stand-up calls and Skypes and Zooms and whatnot. So it didn't change much for us. We appreciate it's been very hard for a lot of people, and we're very sad to heard about the difficulties that people have had. It has, however, infused our creativity too. I mean, in this time of maybe slowdown, we've decided working on a new website, and I've been working on new models. So we'll be ready when things start up to introduce new beautiful lines. I hope people will like them too. And we're also opening a kind of a concept store where I've been doing some private commissions in the past. I started introducing some of this work on social media recently. But I've done a clock that helps to connect people when they are in lockdown, a meditation clock. I'm also going to show maybe some of the designs that we've not shown yet, which are for private owners who wanted their own private line. So we'll start to reveal some of that to show that there is still activity and design. So that's I mean, we cannot rush things. We won't rush things. We are manufacturing pieces at the moment. We're going to be delivering them, and if it starts in July, August, September, October, November, we'll be there.
Great.
But clearly, what we want to do is I expect my time to be spent a lot in retail, to be there, meet clients, and even remotely organize remote presentations. And we need to support our retail partners. That's my obsession at the moment.
Great. Well, that's a great message, and it's wonderful to hear that you're doing pretty well. And let's hope it's not November as you when things start reopening. Let's hope it's a little bit sooner than that.
Yes.
But for now, I look forward to seeing you in person when
yes,
when it's possible. But really,
me too, Rob.
Time today.
And be safe, and yeah, take care of yourself and your close ones.
Great. Thanks, Alexander.
Bye.